Sabelo, thanks a lot for joining us on Newsnight. There's a reason, perhaps, why we need to even have this kind of campaign and road safety campaign, given the fact that in about 2018, about 510 deaths were just recorded over this period alone.
Now, I think what is key is that there's been campaigns before where people don't seem to be getting the message. So we thought, let's come in and play our part to make sure that we pass the message in a different way, to ensure that we attend to the behaviors and the attitudes that we see on the road.
So what kind of way will you be playing? Is it more of the shock factor? We've seen not so long ago we had one of the artists that was involved in an alleged car accident, and she gave a shock factor, all in the name of perhaps giving people more of an awareness in terms of drunk driving and driving also with a cell phone in hand. So what kind of is tools are you going to be implementing to ensure that South Africans just don't look at it and go, just another campaign?
Yeah, I think what we've looked at is that an accident does not happen by chance. Sometimes you need to speak to the commuters, that is the passengers, before they board the taxi or a bus. Because what happens is on the road, you, as a driver, you are under pressure because the people that you carry, they want to get to their destination quicker.
Yeah.
And as a result, you either speed to try and minimize the panic inside your car. Now, if we speak to the drivers at the taxi rank before they take the journey and begin to give them, tools that will enable them to relax on the road. Because when you get to these garages, we give them massages, to try and ease the pressure.
For the taxi drivers?
That's right.
Okay.
So that is the plan, to try and pass the message in a more innovative and creative way.
You're going to be giving the taxi drivers massages in a way in which they can feel as though somebody's taking care of them and that they looked after during this particular time. Do you think they're going to buy into it?
Actually, they look forward to, that kind of relaxation because everybody is busy, is in a hurry. And then when you are asked to stop, you are in a panic. But now if you are stopping, you are given information, and then you lie down for about 30 minutes just to relax and receive a massage, free of charge.
Wow. Okay, so basically the taxi drivers really got in for a treat. Is this going to be implemented across the country? Given the fact that the statistics that are coming out in terms of these road deaths are highest in certain areas, while low in certain areas. KwaZulu-Natal, for example, is quite high in the number of fatalities. I know that also it was the Northern Cape and the Northwest Province as well that are quite high in those fatalities. So are you going to be zeroing in more? In other words, giving them an hour massage as opposed to a 30-minute massage so that indeed they can take more extra care on that road?
The norm is that you need to rest after every 200 kilometers. Now, what is important is that most people are traveling from the bigger cities to their homes. Hence, our approach is not necessarily to target, the whole country, because we want to make the impact. So we targeted certain provinces where we know that the bulk of people will be exiting, for instance, Gauteng, Western Cape, KZN. So we're looking at those that are more impacted. And with that, the massage is just one of those, but the core is the message that we are sending across, so that we are all alert and we are not impatient, but we are patient on the road. So
it's an area around impatience and also being able to take that extra care and be vigilant on the road. However, as you would know, that especially around the commuter space as well, the drivers themselves become more agitated and therefore they're the ones that endanger their lives. In other words, driving under the influence or taking risky measures with people's lives on board, overtaking when they should not be overtaking, really driving recklessly. So apart from teaching them and providing that awareness for them to actually take the extra care, how are you going to then ensure that people and drivers specifically know that actually on this road, if this happens, a lot of the fatalities are going to come as a result of you just being reckless with people's lives, because this is ultimately with people's lives?
I think what we are trying to do is to make sure that we sensitize them, because all of these have been said before, and we are trying to pass the very same message. Hence, we are looking at different ways of passing the very same message, because if your behavior does not change, you can be taught, you can be given information, but if your behavior does not change, it's not going to change the status quo. It's going to remain the same. But what we are pushing is that if we have these one-on-one sessions with the taxi drivers, with the taxi owners, with the bus drivers, with the truck drivers, because all of these are involved, because we're talking about the road, and the accidents are happening on the road. Not only them, but even the passengers, because most people die on the roads because they are not careful. You can't drink and cross the road. So we need to pass those messages and ensure that we are all participating to ensure that there is safety on our roads.
Well, we definitely, it's feedback and statistical analysis that needs to take place shortly after the Easter festivities, and hopefully, you would see a significant decrease in terms of the number of road fatalities. We're going to leave our conversation there, but thanks all for joining us on Newsnight. Shedding some light in terms of those innovative mechanisms to ensure that people take extra care on the road. You heard it first here.